From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Well, for the next 52 minutes, we're joined by Bill Still. I remember I was already awake. I knew what was going on. I'd been on the air about 2 years. And I saw the documentary film, The Money Masters, and we played clips on it over and over again on my radio show and my local access television show where I started out here in Austin. And we sell the film. It's over 3 hours long. The Money Masters, how banks create the world's money and use it to take over the planet. And the banks, by the way, are run by eugenicists, so that's why it's even more dangerous that they be stopped, because these are maniacal people. And it is a 2 DVD set, an incredible film, so important. Well, guess what? After all these years, he has made a new documentary, The Secret of Oz. And he talks about, is the Wizard of Oz really a secret message about the banking cartel? Well, I know it's not a secret message, and the film explains that. Actually, it's a play from the 1890s that exposes. In fact, I've actually read the original play. It's very similar to the film, but admits it's about the Wizard of Oz and the bankers behind the curtain creating the fraud and getting rid of the gold standard and the yellow brick road. And so the film exposes these scallywags, these Ponzi scheme operators, who have now brought us to the point of world government run by them through their fraud and the devaluation of the dollar. And so it's important to expose what they've done, but it's also important to expose alternatives to their predatory financial black hole system that is designed to destroy societies. And this film is incredible. It just came out on DVD. We've got it. It's available at Infowars.com. The Secret of Oz. We'll put the shopping cart image up there for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. And you can get 25% off The Money Masters when you order it with The Secret of Oz. And this film is so well done. He's such an amazing filmmaker, and he's got so many big heavy hitters in the film explaining it and going over it, like Peter Schiff, Joe Farah. It's just amazing. And it has solutions, so it shows you who the enemy is, what they've done, and the alternative. And people are now, more than ever, ready for this information. So get the new film at Infowars.com. I want to play the little 4-minute trailer, or part of it, to The Secret of Oz. Then we're going to go to Bill Still, the amazing filmmaker. Here it is.
What's going on with the American economy? Foreclosures are everywhere, unemployment is skyrocketing, and it looks like this may only be the beginning. What can government do? The sad answer is, under our current monetary system, nothing. It's not going to get any better until the root cause of the problem is understood and addressed. There isn't enough stimulus money in the entire world to get us out of this hole.
Well, you can't borrow yourself out of debt no more than, like I said before, you cannot drink yourself sober.
And so we're going to have a massive recession, or let's call it a depression, while the economy rebalances away from a service sector economy towards a good producing economy.
But could it be that all these problems were foreseen 100 years ago by L. Frank Baum, the author of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz?
Well, the principal and most powerful symbolic reference is, of course, the yellow brick road and the silver slippers. In the book version of The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy's slippers are made of silver, as opposed to in the film version where Dorothy's slippers are made of ruby. You take away the silver slippers on the gold or yellow brick road, and all of the other symbolism tends to be lost.
Well, it's no secret to any American that we're living in very precarious times. Americans are being robbed blind, and they don't even know who's doing the robbing.
Our government should never go into debt. It doesn't need to go into debt. A government can issue the money it needs.
Nobody in the government, in either party, is looking at solving the debt problem. Then the answer is it's going to go into a depression as far as the eye can see.
We can't get from where we are to where we need to be without a severe depression.
The government's mentality in general seems to be, we'll do what we have to do and we'll worry about paying for it later. But what you could do is pay for it now. In other words, you don't have to pay for it later. You don't have to pay for it with debt. You can just pay for it with money.
Nobody's even talking about the debt problem as such. They're talking about the fact that, gee, the bankers aren't making enough money to live in the way that they're accustomed to.
Remember, all this money we're giving them is at interest. Money we are borrowing to give to the banks. Then these very same banks have the audacity to loan this money back to us at more interest. In 2009, the interest we paid on the national debt in 1 year was more than we spent totally on the Iraq War. This system has got to go. Why haven't we heard this before? Because most of the media and Congress are beholden to the big banks for loans. Yes, Congress still appropriates money, but where do they get it? Again, what they can't raise from taxes, they borrow from banks. In 2009, Congress will spend over $4 trillion, but they will have to borrow half of it. The worst part is, we aren't just giving the money away, we're borrowing it to give it away.
I think we need to reconsider and rethink, perhaps, the very foundations of our economic and monetary system.
You want a new cause to embrace? You want to do something good for humanity? How about one simple reform that will fix most of the bad things in this world, like hunger, poverty, disease, and misery? This is the ultimate civil rights struggle, humankind's escape from serfdom. The solution is the secret that's been hidden from us for over 100 years.
All right, folks, that's part of the trailer. It's up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. You can get The Secret of Oz or get the Money Masters with it if you'd like. Again, Infowars.com or 888-253-3139. You can also write to us at P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas 78760. And remember, just because you've known this for decades doesn't mean others do. And now the world is falling to these bankers who are able to just take over the planet with all this fiat currency. This message is the stake that can be driven through their heart. It literally is the silver bullet that can kill the werewolves. It is the holy water that'll burn Count Dracula's face off if you will get it and get it out to everyone you know and have viewings and give copies to members of Congress and get aggressive. The Secret of Oz by the amazing filmmaker Bill Still. And Bill, it is so great to see your work over the last 15 years. I was going from memory, but you corrected me. It was 1900. When this original novel came out. Go over the time period they were having then with the bankers, what the novel itself covers versus the film, and why your new documentary is so important.
Oh, gosh. Well, there's a mouthful. L. Frank Baum wrote The Wonderful Wizard of Oz in 1900 as a result of the failure of essentially the Greenbacker movement to capture the presidency when William Jennings Bryan ran for president in 1896. Baum saw that the movement was dying. He saw that the bankers and their gold money system was winning, and so he wrote The Wizard of Oz just as though he was firing a flare up into the night of history, hoping somebody somewhere down the line, generations later, would catch on to what was going on and pick up the banner. And that's what I've done. In fact, Alex, the inspiration for The Secret of Oz came from you the last time I was on your show. I had never heard this before.
Wow, I didn't know that. And so you went and did the research. And to correct one more thing, I support gold and silver because fiat currencies can be debased. And, at the time, the bankers were using the hoarding of gold to manipulate the market. So it's not a all or nothing. You believe in a fiat system issued by Congress, which will be able to pay off the debt and truly empower the population. And I think your system is a great system because now the bankers have hoarded all the gold. And once they're done killing the fiat system, if we go back to a gold system, then they'll have the monopoly all over again.
Well, it was funny. I saw Peter Schiff on TV just yesterday or the day before, and I love Peter Schiff and Ron Paul. Let me say that right up front because we agree on 95% of the stuff, but, I just think they're dead wrong on the whole gold thing. And Peter Schiff was asked, gee, if you believe that gold is the answer, well, then the United States is in great shape because the U.S. Treasury owns so much gold. And Peter kind of goes, well, yeah, but it hasn't been audited recently, and they all poo-pooed that. But that's absolutely correct. Fort Knox was unloaded in the late 1960s and early 1970s, even though the Treasury still keeps this massive amount, thousands of tons of gold on their books, but it's not there. So